some people refuse to be denied.
Mate, the only thing I'm allergic to in the world is stairs. Apart from that, that's it.
By the time he was 21, Dylan Alcott, who's been disabled since birth, had won both gold and silver with the Australian Paralympic basketball team. But he wasn't done there. Having switched to tennis, this year he won his second consecutive Australian Open.
Game, set, match, Alcott.
Cementing himself as the world #1. Would you please welcome Dylan Alcott?
Good to see you.
Welcome. Now, we have two big things in common. One, we are both big fans of the Wu-Tang Clan.
Correct.
Two, we are both interested in changing the way we talk about disability in this country.
Exactly right.
I want to start with the Wu-Tang Clan. Now, just have a look at this footage. Just check this out. Okay, so there's a lot going on there, right? Now, I know traditionally for the ABC audience, Wu-Tang aren't in their house, right? But Wu-Tang are essentially the Beatles of hip-hop. How did you end up on stage rapping with them?
You know what, that video was from Meredith Music Festival, and I crowd surfed. Ghostface asked someone to get up and rap the Method Man verse, so I crowd surfed from like 50 metres back and got in. But actually, they just came back out, the whole Wu-Tang, and Ghostface couldn't get in the country because he had criminal charges from the 90s.
I do just want to explain that Ghostface is a stage name. It's Ghostface Killer.
Is his rap name. Dennis Cole's his real name. And he couldn't get...
No one knows his name's Dennis Cole.
I do, because he couldn't get in the country, and someone that works at the promotion company asked if I'd write a character reference to immigration. So I did, and he got in.
Are you serious?
So then Ghost called me up. And, Ghostface called me up, and the RZA and the whole of the Wu-Tang came up and said, "Yo, Dill, thanks for your help. Do you want to come on stage and do it again, rap with us?" So, yeah.
Because that makes me think, if you can get someone called Ghost-Faced Killer into the country, what can you do for refugees?
I was going to say, I wish I could help the kids on Nauru, but I think I'm stuck to 90s gangster rappers.
Was it intimidating rapping with the Wu-Tang Clan? Like, you're rapping with, like, the best rappers in the world.
Mate, I've listened to the Wu-Tang since I was a kid. Before I go to play tennis, the last song I listen to is a Wu-Tang Clan song. So to get on stage, I mean, I play tennis and basketball, and I've been in front of crowds, but I was pretty proud of myself to spit the lyrics from Protect Your Neck, word perfect. When I had the opportunity to do that, it was pretty cool.
Right now, there's like 70-year-old nanas going, protect one's neck.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
I must check it out. This RZA fella, he sounds like a nice chap. One of your messages is that a person with a disability can do anything that an able-bodied person can do. I want to show some footage that really shows that. This is you crowd surfing in a wheelchair at a festival. Awesome. Look at this. Going off. There we go. He can face plant just like anyone else.
I look like I got shot by a sniper. I thought I was killing it, and the best thing is, they kept the chair up in the air for like 15 seconds going, man, this guy's light. I'm on the ground going like, hey, help, I'm on the ground now.
And so no one tried to steal the wheelchair? They were okay about that?
No, I came back down. I feel sorry for my mate that had me up, because he grabbed the wheel and I spun forward, like pretty much elbowed him in the head, knocked him out. I was fine. I got no more disabled than I already was pre-fall out.
I was joking there about you having a situation while in a wheelchair, and some people genuinely got uncomfortable with me making a joke like that. Is something like that offensive?
Oh, not at all, mate. I think there is a premise and a stigma about disability that we're, a bit less capable, a bit less broken, not very sexy, that kind of stuff. And for me, I think that's all crap. And if you want to be treated as equals, anybody can take the piss out of you, so why can't you take the piss out of me? As long as it's in good taste and things like that, I'm completely fine with it. And, mate, I laughed when I was on the ground, trying not to get trod on, but, yeah, it was good.
Yeah. It's a lovely sentiment, but people don't take the piss out of me. That's I don't know what you've heard, but that definitely does not happen at all. So are people awkward with you because of your disability?
Yeah, definitely. There's occasions where I've got a beautiful girlfriend, and people might think she's my carer or have no idea that I can actually have a girlfriend and things like that. And I actually got off a plane the other day and I jumped in my chair and the lady said, "Oh, well done." I said, Because I wheeled off, you know, she's like, oh, well done. I was like, oh, no, well done to you too.
You're like, well, I wasn't flying the plane.
Yeah, exactly right. And you know what? She was just trying to be nice, and there's that misunderstanding and stigma with disability. People are still a bit awkward, and it's getting a lot better. But hopefully, we can continue to break those barriers down because you know, there's 1 in 5 people in Australia have some kind of disability, like 4.5 million people, 20% of the population. So hopefully, we can make it a bit less awkward for more people and normalise it for everyone.
What's the most common thing that people ask you about it?
Lots of different things. Can you drive a car? Can you feel your dick's a big one as well?
Well, not in public.
Yeah,
obviously.
exactly right.
Yeah, like we'll bend the rules, but come on, within reason.
And but there's lots of things. But I'm pretty comfortable. You can come up and ask anything. You know, why you're in a wheelchair. As long as you come up and buy me a beer first, you can ask me whatever you want.
Because what I want to ask is, if I'm at a restaurant and the men's is taken and the women's is taken and the disabled is free, and I'm really busting,
Yeah.
is it okay for me to use it?
Go for it, but one of my favourite things to do is just filming people's reactions when they come out of the disabled bathroom. Because they'll be taking their time and I'm knocking and they're going, mate, piss off, hurry. And then they come out, they see me, they're like, oh! And then what they do is they hold the door open, but they're in the way, so I can't get past. I'm like, it's completely fine. But I appreciate the toilets are busy and they're not often used. Disabled car parks, you can stay out of them, but if you're busting, mate, you're welcome to join me in there.
Yeah. And no one's allowed to park in a disabled car park, even if they're busting.
Exactly.
That's
right.
definitely worth clarifying. Can I ask you an invasive question, though? You just won the Australian Open. Novak Djokovic also won the Australian Open. He took away $3+ million. How much did you get?
Mate, we barely get, not as much, only enough to cover our costs, maybe a little bit more, which is a bit of a shame, but you can't, 10, 12 years ago, you got paid nothing. You had to pay to compete as a Paralympian. If you wanted to represent your country, you would have to fund it yourself. And it's getting a lot better. And I think now, especially for corporates and things like that, there's that goodwill factor with Paralympians, and that's always going to be there. But we're elite athletes who train 24 hours a week, 4 hours a day, busting our ass in doing everything that we can to be the best. And the best part is, it's so entertaining, mate, when people come down and watch it. Like, the fastest serve in the wheelchair in tennis is 170 k's an hour. I mean, Leighton Hewitt serves at 180 on his feet or whatever.
Well, not anymore, let's be honest.
Mate, I reckon he's still probably almost good. But, and it is getting a lot better and it's so entertaining. So I encourage anybody to check out Paralympic sports because I promise you won't be disappointed.
I'm familiar with the story, but for the benefit of people at home, how did you become disabled?
Yeah, I was born with a tumour wrapped around my spinal cord. So if you take a small melon, chop it in half, stick half it on your back, that's how I was born. And only a couple of days old, the surgeons decided to remove that tumour to save my life. But as a result, it's left me paraplegic, and I've never been able to walk or run around and play footy with my brother and things like that. But I really am, I think, 100% lucky to be in the situation that I'm in. And you know what? I used to think Dylan in the wheelchair and the Dylan that walks is the same Dylan, but that's crap because the Dylan in the wheelchair is, I think, a much better version of that. Any Dylan that could have lived, and I've had great experiences. The people I've met, mate, I'm really lucky, and I want more, especially kids with disabilities. Although there might be things like you can't get up steps or, do the moonwalk, whatever you want to do. There are things you can't do, but there's so many other things you can, and if you put yourself out there, good things come back.
Do you think it's easier or harder acquiring a disability early in life like you or later in life?
I get asked that question all the time, and it's an interesting one. I mean, would you rather know what it's like to kick a footy or walk on the beach or never have that at all? There's two sides to it, and I think there's a lot of people that have car accidents or whatever it is and end up in chairs. They do never get over it, but I think growing up with a disability is tough because kids can be really quite harsh and say how it is. If you have an accident, hopefully you have a great group of friends and all that already that can help you through that. I know there's plenty of kids out there, doing it tough. No one at school will talk to them. They won't, wait for them in the playground, that kind of stuff. But look, mate, I'm stoked that I ended up with a disability. It never crossed my mind if I could have a magic pill and walk or something. I wouldn't do it because I love the life that I live, and I'm really, really happy to be in this situation.
You've won gold in basketball. You're number one in tennis, and you're coming up to Rio. You're competing at the Olympics.
Paralympics.
Right, okay. So if you win gold there, are you going to just pick another sport and win that?
Yeah, I might try out for high jump, I reckon. No. You know what? I think I'm not really sure. I actually want to get a job in the mainstream media, working as a presenter and TV and radio, because I think.
Oh, so that's what all this is about. Right. I feel
I feel like I could fit.
Yeah, you could. Yeah.
Exactly. Right. But you know, the best way to break that stigma in lots of people's minds is if you can do it in the mainstream media, and people with disabilities struggle for jobs and for getting treated equally and things like that. But if Malcolm Turnbull was in a wheelchair, or hopefully not, it's going to happen to you, but somebody in your position, that'd be awesome for breaking those barriers and changing that perception. So who knows, mate? I'm enjoying the sport now. All I want to do is win that gold, because not many athletes have won gold in two different sports, and I've had incredible support from everyone in Australia. So I can't wait to get out there, do my best, and then I'm looking forward to seeing what happens after that.
Okay, so why is it not cool for me to say Olympics instead of Paralympic? Just so I understand.
Oh, well, I didn't go to the Olympics. I went to the Paralympics, and I'm proud of that. And most people think the word Paralympic means para, as in paraplegic, paralysed, but it actually means parallel to the Olympics. So same elite sports, same elite sports stars fighting for the same gold medals. And just in our case, heaps better looking and more marketable, in my opinion. Yeah. So Paralympians that went to the Paralympics get the Olympic rings, and they're just ridiculed within the Paralympic fraternity, because you should be proud of the Paralympics. And
yeah, right.
People will say, do you want to combine the Olympics and Paralympics? But if Usain Bolt is running at the same time I'm playing tennis, I appreciate everyone will watch Usain Bolt. So I'm proud to have our own event where we're the elite stars and stuff like that. And so that's why most people say Olympics, and I try and say Paralympics as.
So Oscar Pistorius.
He's not coming.
Was it the Paralympics? Yeah. But he competed at the Paralympics, and then he sold out.
Yeah.
Went to the Olympics.
Yeah.
Are you pretty happy that he's now on house arrest?
Yeah.
Well, all the best in Rio, and I have no doubt whatever you set your mind to, you're going to achieve. Dylan Alcott, thanks very much, mate.
Thanks for having me.